Art, this is a suggestion via a channel member. The name of the video is 15 Performances That Went Wrong Live. This is coming from the channel Top Discovery.
After rehearsals and preparations, live performers go on stage to dazzle their fun-thirsty audience.
Oh, super thirsty.
Live performers go on stage to dazzle their fun-thirsty audience. And beyond a shadow of a doubt, these moments are usually charming and exciting. But here comes the twist. Performances may not go as planned, even on the world's biggest stages.
Wow.
Talk about epic fails, cringeworthy moments, and how things can go from yay to nay in a jiffy.
Did her hair get caught in the fan?
Join us as we have a look at 15 performances that went wrong live.
All right, let's go.
Number 15, Mariah Carey's vocal fail.
I'm not going to judge this very harshly,
When you're making a list of the greatest singers of all time, the songbird supreme Mariah Carey should come to mind.
Okay.
She has serenaded the entire world with her beautiful voice for decades, and her signature voice has pierced through hearts. However, in this clip, Mariah Carey must have had a bad day before this performance, because that's the only way to explain how she became a shadow of herself. She's seen performing her hit song, All I Want for Christmas Is You, and it was just terrible.
Let me hear it.
Now, this isn't...
Okay, I promised I was not going to judge that very harshly, but look, hear me out for a second, okay? She has been singing at such a crazy high level for her entire career. Okay, your body is your body. It is what it is, right? She had the ability to sing that like that, okay, when she was younger. Now she's getting a little older. You know, her body is getting tired. Okay. There are, now don't get me wrong, there are some other singers that this did not happen to, right? Where they were able to still kind of sing until they passed. But did those singers sing as high basically as Mariah Carey did? I think that's my main thing. That's why I said I wasn't going to judge this one specifically that harshly. But
even supposed to be funny, but it looks like an expensive joke, and you can't help but giggle at the terrible show. Is this Mariah Carey, or are we stuck at the beginning of a crazy Freaky Friday situation?
No, this is Mariah Carey.
Has our vocal fairy lost her wings, or was it a thing of the moment? A lot of things must have gone wrong, and you have to feel bad for her. And I guess it also goes to prove that world-class celebrities will also have their fair share of performance glitches. Number 14, the failed death drop.
Right,
now, I believe that everyone has their talents. We've seen spectacular performances on talent shows, and they usually make us marvel and say, wow. However, in the bid to showcase these interesting abilities, two performers on a 2018 edition of America's Got Talent went well overboard. It looked as though they thought that they could go up against gravity, and here's what I'm talking about.
All right, let's go. Like, which part is the failure? We're going to go ahead and mute that because it's copyright, guys, but... I mean, honestly, that doesn't look much like a failure.
Could have ended up being a whole lot worse. Just when you thought it was over and the performers had learned their lesson, or at least draw the curtains on a performance that was already destined to end in shame, one of the performers decides it would be nice to do just one more trick. Okay. What a time to try and up the ante. Inject a little risk into the performance and keep the audience on the edge of their seats. This performer thought that it would be nice to continue with a blindfold on.
No.
But this is number one as far as the really dumb ideas go, and it was never going to end well because what happened next would shock you.
Listen, here's the thing. We don't see the floor. Could there have been something there? Like, was she supposed to do that? I don't know. It could look like a mistake or an error, right? But what do we really know about the routine? It's like super famous musicians making a mistake on the stage. Like, bro, did we even hear the mistake? No, you played it off well. She played it off well. She got up, didn't quit, didn't run off crying or anything like that, guys. I don't know. It looks like a mistake, but was it?
As bad as it looked, it was just one of those uncertainties that comes with live performances.
It looks
They
like it because he
probably
was trying to
spent
grab her.
days or even months rehearsing those moves. However, in those live TV moments, sometimes chaos is just waiting in the wings. Number 13, karate or what? In an almost similar scenario to the one you just saw, this clip shows a candidate who went on Sri Lanka's Got Talent to showcase his karate skills, or at least something that looks kind of like it.
No, it
and
doesn't.
I think he must have felt like Clark Kent on steroids when the first set of bricks went through his arms. You can almost see his arms shaking with the pain running its course in his body. However, this performance was only about to get worse.
His head?
He thought that it was good to break a brick with his head, but it did not go as it should have.
Your head?
He fell off the bench without notice.
Bro.
He more than likely suffered a concussion, but the man is not done just yet. He still has to one-up himself and has a trump card up his sleeve, even though he looked as though he could pass out at any...
Bro, you know you couldn't do this. You knew that. What is this? How did you make it this far? I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but you knew you couldn't do this. Like, you look very amateur doing it. Okay? And I'm almost positive the people who are really doing it, right, are actually not really doing it.
Moment.
Yeah. Like, you knew, bro. You knew. Right. Tell this man to stop.
At that point, the judges were just not
Stop
having it
immediately.
anymore, and the looks on their faces showed it all. They couldn't wait to get the guy off the stage.
Right. It's time to...
Number 12, Ryan Stock's failed stunt.
Ryan Stock.
In 2016, the sword-swallowing stuntman Ryan Stock and his partner Amber Lynn went on America's Got Talent to do what they do best. This man's throat is like a glorified sword sheath, and this sure did not seem like his first time around. The entire thing kicked off quite well, and Ryan had begun to wow the audience with his rather dangerous stunts. Now, let's pause here a little.
God.
They've been doing this for years, so it
I don't like it. I don't like it.
doesn't seem like that much of a big deal for them anymore. However, their expertise would not be enough to sail this particular ship. The wow moment suddenly turned sour when they wanted to take their stunts to the next level. At first, Ryan had stuck a long rod into his throat as though he were reaching down into a well, and next, his partner Amber aimed a fiery arrow at the performer's mouth, which was wide open. And truth be told, there were signs that she was being careful, so there was no room for errors.
Bro, don't tell me.
Yet she pretended to be as bold as possible.
Don't tell me.
And what's the worst thing that could happen?
A lot.
Amber lost the target,
he missed
or should
it.
I
He
say
missed
it was the arrow that lost its way. However you want to put it, it landed right on Ryan's chest, and you can be sure the guy felt the sting for quite a while. Number 11, the ladder guy. This clip shows another magic moment that went wrong at America's Got Talent in 2015.
Okay.
Here, we see a contestant who is an expert at defying the laws of physics.
Oh, wow.
He began a long and
Look at
hard
that.
climb up a ladder and went straight to the peak of the ladder without any support whatsoever. It's getting scary at that point, but it doesn't end there.
Right.
The performance, which had already had the audience in a chokehold, would take a turn for the worse. What seemed like an impressive attempt at a hula hoop trick led to a really hard fall from the tip of the ladder. The only sound louder than the audience's horrified gasp would be the loud thump that marked the ending of the show.
Right. Just don't show us, bro.
The poor guy, I mean, that would have been fatal, but it's a good thing that his damage control was top-notch and he landed without a scratch.
Right.
It also goes to show that he had mastered the art of falling, knowing how unpredictable live performances can be.
Absolutely. You can definitely tell that. I mean, and he's like at least 65 pounds too, guys. That
Number
helps.
10, Mario Kamias failed magic. Now, there's a thrill that magicians bring to all of their performances, and it lies in concealing the hows and when that they perform. I mean, it's just a principle and a massive show of the art of deception. But you know what they say, a magician never reveals his hand. However, it would seem as though this showman never got that memo. In this clip, the thrill would be lost when the magician Mario Kamiya unintentionally showed his magic during a Sunday live television show. The magician had his wrists and neck stuck into tiny holes and locked up the magic gadget with screws. He wanted to dazzle the audience by pretending to have removed his neck and wrists magically. But as his assistant covered him up to conceal the process, he loosened the screws, freed himself, and locked the presenter's hands in place of his. Just when he was about to celebrate his fake magic trick, his secret act would be exposed for all to see.
I love when this happens,
an embarrassing
bro. I'm
moment
sorry.
for magicians all over the world. Houdini would have definitely been rolling in his grave at this sight. One of the presenters even tried to save the day, but it was already too late, and the deed had been done. Now, in my books, that could be the most embarrassing failed magic seen on live.
I love failed magic, bro. I'm sorry. Like, listen, don't get me wrong. Like the good magic is super interesting to encounter, definitely. But when it fails, I think it's more entertaining.
Television.
Because you can kind of see finally
doll dancers
what it
or
did,
wrestlers.
or how it happened, let's say.
This clip shows two rag dolls that gave an underwhelming performance at the 2022 edition of America's Got Talent. It was so poor that you wouldn't be able to tell if it was a gimmick, a play, or a serious insult to the audience's intelligence.
Copyright. Okay, so they're going back and forth with a...
This is not even the messy part of their
candy.
performance. The moment that really got me was when they turned the whole thing into a battle of the fists. The judges simply asked them about what had gone wrong with the performance, and the next thing they did was to throw some punches. Talk about comedy and chaos wrapped up in one show.
Heidi, anything you want to add?
I was waiting for something and nothing ever happened.
Okay, so this one here didn't go wrong, right? Like, yeah, it just didn't go wrong at all. It's just obviously what they were looking to do, bro, the whole time. It's just that, the audience and the judges just didn't get the joke.
How do you feel it went?
I was a little off. You were terrible.
But also, eventually, all of those moves would make
Yeah.
sense when Simon later finds out that they're a popular wrestling tag team known as the Bella Sisters. Apparently, they came on the show to prank the judges, but the fact remains their performance turned out to be the most chaotic in the history of live television. Number 8. Britney Spears' wardrobe malfunction. When you ask any celebrity performer what their greatest fear is, I'm sure it will be a wardrobe malfunction. From year to year, famous artists have never ceased to shock the world with the most incredible fashion choices ever, but most times these apparel decide that it's time to rain on your parade, and in some cases, you just can't be prepared enough for such a mishap.
I'm going to go ahead and guess that the costume designer got fired this day, all right, for not specifically working well enough on the things that connect, guys.
In this clip, Britney Spears has her share of the dress malfunction as the hook on her halter neck top suddenly snaps off in the middle of a performance. One of her team members is seen trying to fix the dress, but it looks like it's taking more time and effort than expected. Well, the good thing is that she continued with the performance after all. I mean, the show must go on, but you can also see the awkward moment had somewhat shaken her. If you were in her shoes, wouldn't you be shaken as well?
Yeah.
Number 7.
I mean, listen, you have to, when you see things like this, you have to understand that anything can happen, bro. Like, everyone is human. This is a mistake. It's not her fault. Guys, I mean, I get it. You paid your money to see the performance, and it was bad because of this happened. It ruined your day, right? But imagine what she was going through specifically during that moment.
Acrobatics gone wrong. This clip is from a 2023 edition of America's Got Talent, and it shows 3 Ukrainian girls who have come onto the show to impress the judges with their exciting acrobatics. However, it did not really go all that well. The girls held each other in a difficult position, and before you knew it, they fell in a rather awkward way.
Everyone is fine.
I guess it was enough to put an end to the performance, but I'm blown away by their resilience. They didn't travel all the way from Ukraine just to allow failure to stop them from shining.
Right.
And so they continued on with the performance, and it was going really well, and they were getting all of the applause that they deserved. A few moments later, though, another epic fail would take place, and this time it came at a cost. One of the ladies had broken her ankle, and you can see her...
That did not happen. Ignore what he's saying here, YouTube. Okay, but or how about this? Just don't show us.
Limping with pain.
The incident. Good.
It was such a sad thing to see. I mean, they really did put in the effort, but in live performances, anything can happen. Number 6, Madonna's cape malfunction. Like Britney Spears, the pop highness Madonna has not been left out of the performance mishaps that expensive and extravagant performance dresses can sometimes bring. This clip shows her performance at the Brit Awards in 2015, where she suffered a terrible wardrobe malfunction. In the clip, she was dragged off stage by the long flowing cape that was fastened tight to her neck. It looked as though one of her dancers had mistakenly pulled the cape, and then off she went.
That person is fired. Nope, copyright. That's a wild one, guys. Everyone is safe, though.
That must have hurt the queen of show business, but surprisingly, she took it off like it was nothing, and the show went on.
Get that off of you.
This cringeworthy moment had the internet buzzing for days, and I think her designer or even the dancer may have some questions to answer.
Yeah, I figured that. That's
number 5, dress malfunction on live television. It looks like dresses really do have a thing for embarrassing people on live TV. Another mind-boggling moment occurs on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert when Sarah McDaniel's dress kept slipping off her chest as if to reveal what lay underneath. In this clip, we see her struggling with her dress while Stephen, embarrassed on her behalf, jokingly asks if he can offer her duct tape to hold the dress in place.
I mean, yeah, you could have just worn like a proper shirt, but you can't tell people nothing these days.
They both keep trying to laugh it off to save face, but the hilarious moment came when Stephen offered her some help.
Yeah.
Number 4, Katy Perry falls. When it comes to live auditions, courage is an ingredient that is highly needed, and this clip shows a contestant on the 2018 American Idol who had it in excess. She did a Latin dance and she charmed the judges so much that they joined her on stage, but this would soon turn to a funny situation when Katy Perry fell hard while dancing. In the clip, the celebrity singer is seen struggling to stand up, but no thanks to her slippery heels. It wasn't as easy as you would think. Now, the funniest moment was when another judge tried to salvage the situation and save the day with some laughs, and I love how he turned the chaotic moment into a comedy show. Number 3, Katy Perry's flute.
That's not that big of a deal, guys. I don't think so, at least.
Prank. Katy Perry plays a rather strange prank on her own fans. In this clip, she's seen trying to blow her audience away by playing the flute, or at least pretending to be playing it. Well, the truth is that she was using a backing track, and the unsuspecting audience was feeling it as well. However, the truth was accidentally revealed when the track continued after she had stopped supposedly playing. She probably forgot to keep up the act for a few minutes more, and when she realized the error, she tried to continue, but then the cat was already out of the bag. At this point, the audience roared with laughter, and out of her embarrassment, she buried her head in her palms and admitted that she couldn't play the flute.
I mean, bro, she's had like a lot of like weird public moments anyway, right? So I don't think that this is something that honestly affected her much at all.
Number 2, Pink falls off the stage.
Okay.
If there is one thing that Pink is most famous for, it would be her extreme performance stunts. But at a show in Germany in 2010, she experienced a performance failure when her stunts did not really go as planned. In the clip, she had a gear fastened on her body, and she was ready to daze her fans once again. However, this time it would go haywire. The clip shows where she signaled
did the dancer just like throw her off the stage, guys?
To her team not to launch her yet, but they had no idea. And instead of the gear propelling her into the air like the plan was, she was actually dragged off stage. The music stopped and her team rushed to fix things, but the fall was so bad that the show had to abruptly come to an end. I mean, for someone who had done these...
Nobody was hurt in any of these videos, okay? Nobody was hurt. Remember that, YouTube.
...things for years, it was such a difficult moment. And though she may not have been badly injured, her ego may never be the same.
Right, it was more of an
Number
ego
1,
issue.
Beyonce's hair caught in the fan. When performances choose to go south, it doesn't matter your class, experience, or stature in the industry. I think these things just happen out of nowhere, no matter your level of professionalism. I mean, what could possibly go wrong in a Beyonce concert? This clip was taken during her concert in 2013, and it was more of an ouch moment than anything else. She's seen performing her evergreen hit song Halo, and she probably was enjoying herself so much that she was unaware how close she had come to the wind machine. Before you know it, her long flowing hair had gotten caught in the fan.
Or just cut it off.
However, the diva
Buy
kept
more.
singing her heart out while her hair was still stuck between the blades. Her crew members then moved heaven and earth to salvage the situation, and eventually one of them had to grab a pair of scissors to cut off the part of her hair that was stuck.
Right. Nope, copyright. No, we're not doing that.
There you have it. I hope you had a good laugh while...
All right, guys. A lot of these here were incredibly interesting. Again, these are all brand new things. I've never seen any of these things, guys. Right? I guess I'm not a person of the world. I'm not worldly enough, let's say, to see these things. But either way, some of them were just not accidents. Okay, some of them felt like they were done specifically to either like get clipped and shared online, let's say, or just to get some type of reaction from the crowd, etc. Like mainly this one here. You don't see it anymore. Hold on. Like this one here, when they were like on the ropes, bro, I don't know how I feel about that one. It's almost like, yeah, it could be. Like it could be real, but what benefit would they have of that actually being a real thing? Right? Other than the falling factor, making things memorable factor, guys. I don't know. But all right, a lot of these, I'm sure there are a lot more of these, guys. Let me know. I'll check them out. And you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day thoroughly. Guys, before we go, are you guys subscribed to the other channels? Logical Movie Reviews with Mr. L. Boyd along with Mr. L. Boyd Music. Both are found in the description. Check it out.